Thank you for letting me know on StreamYard that we don't have audio. Now we do. Check 1 2, check 1 2. We're good? I think I fixed it. So welcome again, everybody. Now that we all have sound, you are joining me live for Akashic Answers with Emily, coming to you from Reno, Nevada. Ben Chastain in the house. Love to see you, my friend. Let us know where you're tuning in from and begin the first activation here with me. Imagining pinpoints of light from all the places where we're tuning in from, illuminating all over the planet. This connects us in a grid of consciousness. We can share intelligence and aha moments together, which is what the Akashic Academy is all about. Here we are teaching visionaries and thought leaders how to step into an accelerated timeline of both personal and professional mastery through their Akashic Records. The records hold all intelligence forward and backward through time. So every detail of your past, your present, all possible futures are recorded within the Akashic Records from a neutral perspective. That's a key. Neutrality means unconditional love and zero judgment. And once we learn to see ourselves through this space, we learn how to use the records, which I'm glad you're here. I want to tell you, you have the power to do this too. We all come equipped with the ability to connect with our innate divine intelligence, with the superconscious intelligence or the God mind of the universe. And I learned how to do this in this lifetime in 2015 and very quickly realized this was the most powerful tool for self-actualization that I had ever come across. I had been a self-study sponge, probably like many of you. Give me some emojis there in the comments if you are a metaphysical junkie and you love learning things. It's like it awakens a memory within you. And what I recognized when I began training in the Akashic Records was that I now had access to intelligence to understand my own patterns of lack, learned helplessness. Woo, we wake up and start seeing these. Your records also have a sense of humor because they're going to point out all of your shit to you, or all of the places where you are not operating in your highest potentiality because of patterns of trauma or soul contracts that you've made with yourself to play small because you've been hurt in situations. That happened for me. I got fired from a really big job in Hollywood and I created a soul contract around success that the records helped me identify and clear. So I want to share some of that power with y'all today. Any areas of your life where you're stuck, where you feel like your patterns are just repeating, or you can't get beyond a certain success point in your life. That's a great way to use the Akashic Records, and one way that I want to invite you to play with me in the records today. So if you have questions about where you're stuck, put them in the chat box for me. I'm going to tap in to the field and not only channel through information intelligence to help you and to help all of us, because we all learn. I always learn. I get excited on Wednesdays. It's a good up level. So going to be a lot of intelligence coming through. So light up my chat box with areas where you're stuck. One great way to use the Akashic Records is personal growth and stretching beyond our previous limitations. I would call that I'll call it our negative karma. Karma is an unlearned lesson, and unlearned lessons, negative, dense lessons that we are repeating over and over and over again are just, it's the challenges that we're experiencing in our life. We don't yet understand what part of us is operating from the subconscious level, creating a vibrational frequency. And that vibrational frequency that we create, we send out, it's super important because that's what creates the feedback loops with this ether substance that forms into our reality based on what we're thinking and feeling and how we're programming it. We're programming it together. So the more we become self-empowered and we take responsibility for what we're creating, the better our life gets. And the more one of us does it, the more many of us can do it. So get in here and play with me. All right, I got some questions rolling in. I also want to give you one more place where you can think about where you might want to ask questions. Also, when I learned how to read the records, I recognized my ability to tap into a higher level of my own creative genius. And ideas are so important. Anybody out there stuck in a rut, by the way, if you're stuck in a rut, send me some emojis. Stuck in a rut, you want to know what the cause of that is? The cause of that is that you're thinking the same repetitive thoughts over and over again based on the stimulus that you're letting into your field. So we got to change the messages that you're getting if you want to begin thinking new thoughts and getting out of a rut. Oh, Karen says I can't hear you on YouTube. I'm sorry, guys, if there are some challenges today with the technology. Come join us on Facebook. That one's back up and going. So being able to tap into genius and get clear direction and next steps in our life, in my life, man, that was so powerful. Powerful tool as we're shifting timelines. Anybody feel like you're shifting timelines? If so, I want to invite you to join us for the next What's Next workshop. I'm putting the link in the comments right now if you're joining us on StreamYard. If you're tapping in on Instagram, please go check Linktree, but also feel this is your personal engraved invitation to join us. Inside of that training, it's going to be a weekend training, November 4th and November 5th, 2 hours each day. Oh, and the wisdom that comes in is so good. If you're in a rut, we're going to turn on the part of your brain that can receive intelligence and these new impulses that I'm talking about from the field that help you think new thoughts, new fresh thoughts from scratch. If you study the 7 Hermetic principles, you know that this etheric field that becomes a reality that we're living in, that we're sharing together, it is programmed through our thoughts. That's where everything originates, is from thought. So having new thoughts is really, really important. Join us in the What's Next workshop. Also, if you have questions about creative projects or a direction where to go next in your life, those are great questions to ask about too. So go ahead and light up my chat box. I see lots of them coming in. Thank you all so much for lighting up my chat box here. Makes for, sorry. I really am going to get to the questions here. Un momento. And the likelihood of me getting to all of the questions is low here. Me, human Emily. However, I do want to share with you that your guides, your Akashic Records are meeting you here with presence and awareness in this space. And they are hearing. It sounds a lot like praying, doesn't it? It's similar in a lot of ways. God, source, your records, your higher self is hearing the questions that you are asking today. And it's quite possible that even if I don't choose your question, it's not because I didn't choose it. It's just because Spirit didn't draw me to that particular question. But what I find is that when I go back through the questions and comments afterwards, I recognize that many of the questions that are asked that I don't get answered anyway through the channeling that comes in. And that's all a collective energy that is conspiring for our benefit and expansion here today. So just again, thank you for participating. All right, let's rock and roll. Hi, Emily. I would love to know what's holding me back from others experiencing my gifts in larger numbers. Gallet Rubin. All right. Gallet, I'm tapping in for you. I've got a lot of energy flowing in. So there's a lot of transmission available here for those of you who are being called to step into, I'm going to call it the limelight. If this is the first time you've been here and you don't know a lot about me, I do have a history of being a Hollywood actress for 20 years. So I do use a lot of Hollywood references. If you're regular, then it'll make sense to you, right? But we're stepping into this role of authority and visibility. What's holding many of us back, and what I'm tapping into right now, is an energy around, what it comes down to is relationship to God, how we see the God energy and our wisdom and our gifts expressed through us as part of this. And in our collective programming, there is a paradigm of belief around God that we have a responsibility to prove others or lead others to God in some way. Anybody resonate with this? I resonate with this as I think about my childhood growing up in the Southern Baptist Church. And we were taught the importance of witnessing to others. We even went through forms and training and checking off how many times we practiced our witnessing forms. Ooh, I might even still be able to pull it up. Let me see. Starts with asking, have you come to the place in your life where you've accepted Jesus as your personal Lord and Savior? Can I share with you how Jesus has saved my life and how he can possibly save yours? There's this, and I felt like the more I did that, the better chances I had to get into heaven, if I'm being perfectly honest. Anybody else feel that? All right, so the guides are inviting us all to see where, regardless of what lens you're peering at this through, whatever is applicable to you in your life, whether it's through this idea of religion or this idea of self, a lot of times this same energy will express as imposter syndrome, where we need to convince others of our worth and value. But our worth and value and our message and what we're here to share is really just a reflection of the God energy moving through us. We don't have to prove anything right or correct about that. All right, let me know if this is landing with you all. Send love likes hearts across the screen. Say yes in the comments if this is landing. All right, we want to bring in an activation now to help us to begin to shift on a cellular level. So it's not just knowledge coming into our minds, but it is realized on a cellular level. Quite possibly you will be invited by your higher self, the universe, synchronicity, to take action in some way. That's a way really to solidify what's shifting and changing. Please let me know if this was resonating with you, what came in. Oh, Joy says that workshop is for me. Yay, good, Joy. I'm excited to hang with you in that workshop. It's for me too. It's powerful. All right, so let's see, where do the guides want to work? They want to work in the solar plexus. Solar plexus is your chakra that is about 2 inches above the belly button. It is your inner sun, your center for personal power. Ooh, okay, let me just scoot back a little bit so we can really get in there. Self-esteem, personal power, decision-making, all being activated here. Okay, decision-making is another one. If you feel like you're struggling with decision-making or there's a decision that you need to make in your life, activation coming in here for you. Decision-making can be a challenging one. Self-trust can be a challenging one. All right, I got to plug the What's Next workshop again. As we isolate that issue, self-trust, in this training. Keep breathing. We're still activating the solar plexus here. In the What's Next workshop, we specifically address self-trust. And once we learn how to open up ourselves to communication and communicate with our body, it's one thing that we're doing right now. We're putting energy, attention, we're sending impulses of awareness into our body. Our physical bodies can help us through the decision-making process, and you will feel in your guts, maybe in your bones, you will feel a peace and a relaxation. You will feel a full body, hell yes, for your decisions again. But so many of us have disrupted this communication with our bodily systems. That's why I like it when the guides bring in activations to our chakras, to our energetic body here. Okay, deep breath in. Good. Imagine breathing in light as you're exhaling, releasing any of your challenges around imposter syndrome, confidence, feeling held back, or playing small. Type yes in the comments if you are receiving that. All right, Kim A says, living with a lot of confusion over here the last 2 years after a car accident, feeling very unbalanced. Is there something that I could do to help with this journey? Thanks in advance. Whoo, yes. Thank you for asking. This is a good one. Balance. Balance was a big topic in my VIP mastermind this week. So we were talking about the challenges. Like, what are the challenges that humans face on a day-to-day basis? What does that look like? Balance is a big one. Okay. I'm going to drop in, Kim, for you. I feel like the guides want to, they're going to give you a little monologue first, Kim, about the car accident, and then they're going to talk about balance in a different sense. I don't know what that's going to be yet, though, but I'll feel it coming, so get ready. All right. So, Kim, regarding, okay. Oh, I love it when they do this, too. They begin to tie things together. Your body is physically out of alignment from the car accident, and some chiropractic work and yoga would be really beneficial for you, I'm hearing. So because your physical body is feeling out of alignment, it's basically screaming, misalignment, out of alignment, unbalanced. And so all of the rest of your systems are responding to that. It's like pulsating at the highest, most intense frequency. And that's true of energy. You know, if there are different vibrational frequencies, eventually, whichever one is the highest or the strongest will begin to override and things synchronize to that frequency. An example is empaths who use their empathy in its superpower octave, which means they have light pulsing through them, and charisma and magnetism and groundedness and protection, the ability not to be pulled down by everybody else's energy. Rather, they set the temperature, the energy frequency in the room. You see how empathy can play out in a superpower, or I should say in a higher octave as its superpower, or in a shadow octave where it actually diminishes our power. But when we're very strong and powerful in our vibration and our pulsation, our frequency, we raise others up. So people like being around us. Because we cool to hang out with. We feel good. All right, so this is, in essence, this is the same concept that's happening within your body, except your physical body, because it's out of alignment, is screaming this frequency of imbalance. And so then your brain is going to find ways to prove that story or find the evidence for that story, which is misalignment and unbalance in the thoughts and in the emotions. Okay, keep doing it. Oh, yes. All of this is really good. Good. Meditation. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Keep doing it, the guides are saying. Sometimes when I tap in and get a message like, hey, try this, and my client or student says, oh, yeah, I'm doing that, it's a confirmation to keep doing that. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Add meditation into your processes too, Kim. You need new thoughts too. What the guides are saying is this work is really great, although it's not having a lasting effect because there's not currently an operating system within your mind, your emotions, your body, your nervous system installed to hold that frequency. It's like gravity pulls us back down. And Another way of saying that would be you're having the same repetitive thoughts or the same impulses that are feeding the thought processes, which is where everything is starting. So meditation would be really, really great. No, it doesn't last. Okay. Oh, here's a good one. All right, here's the activation for everybody. You ready? If you'd like to know what it looks like and feels like to experience balance on all the causal planes in your body, in your mind, and your emotions, you can say yes. You can rewrite that in your Akash now. That's another cool thing I didn't tell you about the Akashic Records. Not only do we download information and intelligence, which helps leads us to answers and to medicine, to shifts in our life, but we're also uploading as well, and we can upload. So if you want to know what it looks like and feels like to experience balance in all the causal planes in your life, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, in your relationships, in your finances, in your health, in your job, in your service to humanity, just say yes. Good. And feel that in the body. How does the body feel? That's an important next step the guides are saying is, how does the body feel? Hey, special shout out to Peter and Renee in the house, my fellow Shastonians. Special love to you guys. Good. You feeling it? Woo! I'm feeling a little dizzy right now, I must say. Okay, let me check over here on Instagram. Any questions coming in on Instagram? I don't want to accidentally hang up. No. All right. How is this for y'all today? What's landing? Let me know what's landing for you. Even if you're just a fly on the wall listening, let me know what's landing for you. Oh, Renee, yay. Just very pondering this very topic. Yay. Yes, I love it. Thank you, Melissa, for saying definitely resonating here. You read my mind, struggling all of the above. It's the guides coming in. They're just telling me. I am reading. It's like reading in the field. And when I say reading it, let me be more specific for you all. It's not like I'm looking and reading it like I'm reading it out of a book. My clairsense that is most active when I'm here on Akashic Answers with Emily for you all is my clairaudience. It's like almost just like a feed coming in my ears, and I just repeat what's moving through me at that point in time. But we do have different clairsenses, and clairaudience is another big one for me. I'll see visuals or see visions. Clairsentience is another big one for me as I feel the energy through my body. Who feels the truth bumps through your body? That's actually your internal universe rearranging as above, so below to align to the new aha moment, to the new frequency of what you just realized on a cellular level. That's cool, huh? And then we have claircognizance too, which is a clairknowingness. Kim says, my body feels warm and pulsating. That's clairsentience as well. Clear inner feeling, which can not only be feeling other people's feelings, like we talked about being an empath. That's one example of clairsentience. And what Kim is sharing here is another example. Sometimes we will feel temperature or sensation in the body. That's the universe rearranging within you. Kim, you feel everything. So a lot of work on the emotional body for you, the guides are saying, because when we feel everything and we're super sensitive, man, we'll start blocking out feelings to protect ourselves as well. Okay, the guides did say that they wanted to say something about balance from a different perspective. And I said, I don't know what that is. I still don't know. Let me see. Let me see what the guides want to say. And let me know what's landing for you, okay? Okay, bringing the hands together in prayer pose, left and right palm touching with slight pressure, thumbs touching, touching the heart. Okay, when you put pressure on your left and right palm, hey, what are we doing? We're creating some balance. This balances the left and right hemispheres of your brain. Good for those of us who are feeling dizzy from today's powerful activations. And the left and right hemispheres of our brain are our logic, our intuition, or we could look at it as masculine and feminine energy. And I want you to breathe equal amount of beats. Inhale and exhale. I'm going to go with 4. Nice, gentle, slow breaths. This is bringing the template of that balance that we said yes to into the body. Deep breath in. And do it one more time. Good job. Aligning coherence in the body. High five, that felt good. One more thing that the guides want to say about balance for everyone is over the course of the next week, consider this your homework. Look in your life for areas where you can balance masculine, feminine, light, dark, whatever this means for you. Having the polarities work in balance, the guides are saying, is an area where one, we can gain a lot of power. We can harness a lot of power. Working with polarities, there's a lot of energy there. So practice this in your life. What this could look like is finding the opposites. I had a cool talk with Mikey Kinnaman the other day where she shared with me the idea of the opposite of a trigger. I can't remember what it's called. A tickle, a giggle, a joyful give me. Anybody know what I'm talking about? There's like a whole movement on this. The opposite of a trigger. But we are so ingrained to experience our triggers and to follow them. What happens when we have a pattern interrupt and we start, a glimmer? It's a glimmer. What happens when we start tapping into this idea of glimmer or the opposite of a trigger and we train ourselves in an opposite direction? Many times the opposite can be so freaking helpful. If you feel stuck in a situation, the guides are saying use finances as an example right now. You feel stuck in a financial situation. Think about what would the opposite of this look like? You're stuck in what feels like a dead-end job, or perhaps you don't know what decision to make about something important in your life. Ask, what would the opposite of this look like? And allow yourself to be drawn by this energy. Just remember, everything is inherently whole and complete, even if we're only viewing an aspect of it, a facet of it. So by putting our awareness on the bigger picture, even if we're experiencing the lack, we know we don't want to put our attention and focus on the lack of anything, the lack of clarity on how to get out of a situation. We've got to let the vision of the wholeness, of the completion of this karmic cycle pull us, be a vibrational magnet that guides us along the way. Is this making sense? So you can use the opposite, the idea of opposites, another Hermetic principle, by the way, to harness a lot of power and shift very quickly. But you've got to be a master to notice that moment, because most of y'all, you're still slaves to your triggers. I'm just going to say, I notice places where I am still imprisoned to my triggers, meaning the trigger happens and the thought of victimhood and the feelings associated with it have taken over, and I'm pissed off and thought 10 thoughts down before I realize, oh man, this is all shooting through my body because I've chosen to think this. That's not what I want. At least I'm getting better. All right, that's what the guys want to say about balance. Christine Lynn. Hi, Emily. Hi, Christine. I have been so curious about the Akashic Records. Could you please tell me if I'm aligned with this? Yes, the answer for any of you who, one, have found yourself in this space, that's clue number one, that you are here. And clue number two, if you're asking the question right now, following our curiosity, following our joy is the path to the unfolding of the highest mysteries and awe-inspiring moments and opportunities in our life. I say 100% heck yes on that. Christine, I'll reach out to you after the call here or this training here today. Probably later this afternoon because I have clients and a couple of things going, but we can hop on a quick 15-minute call if you want to chat. Anybody else, if you want to have a quick chat with me about training in your own Akashic Records so that you can become more self-actualized, let me know. Just write Akashic Records in the comments for me. If you're on StreamYard, Instagram, if you're interested in that, please just send me a DM on Instagram because the comments go away afterwards. Yes, but we can definitely hop on a call if any of you are curious about training in your Akashic Records and what's at stake for you when you clear your karma and tap into your creative genius. Timelines shift pretty dramatically, by the way, so get ready to dream big if you decide that you want to have one of those calls with me. Again, for one of those calls, if you are on StreamYard, type Akashic Records. If you are on Instagram, send me a DM and I'll send you the link where you can sign up for one of those. And one more time, I'm going to leave you the link for the What's Next workshop. This is a free workshop happening November 4th and 5th. We are going to be covering how to bring new thoughts into your field so that you can get out of the ruts that you're in. You got to have new thoughts. We're going to cover self-love. When self-love is something that you should continually be working on. I continually work on this. I know you've worked on it before. I got some, and the guides know you've been working on it before too, and they want to impress you and excite you and give you the dopamine hits, the aha moments. So there's great training on self-love. When our self-love increases, everything about our life gets better. Our health, our wealth, our finances, our relationships. We're going to talk about radical self-trust. We're going to talk about the art of course correction so that you can be empowered to make these shifts. So come join me. If this has served you today, please share this out on whatever platform you are joining on. And I'm excited to see you back here again next week. All right, signing off. The records are now closed.